16-bit arcade graphics.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis does.
16-bit sports action.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis does.
Get Joe Montana free, Pat Riley free, Buster Douglas free, Super Monaco GP free, or Collins free.
Genesis does.
What Nintendo don't? Buy a 16-bit Genesis system between now and October 31st and get an extra game.
All right, a little fuck up there, but okay. Yeah, that was no joke. Sega was going after Nintendo. They really were. And that gets to the good part of the story. So, okay. The Sega Genesis. Released August 14th, 1989 here in the United States for $189 at launch. They actually, I think the NES was going for $100 at the time. So, it's about $90 more than the NES. Now, the thing about Sega was that they really wanted to take down Nintendo. They were like, we're going after it because they put the Master System before this, and that didn't sell very well. In fact, they had almost no third-party support because Nintendo basically monopolized the whole thing because they heard about the crash of '83, and they were like, we don't want that to happen again. And unfortunately, they created a monopoly by basically making all third-party companies sign like 2-year deals. They basically said that they could not make any games anywhere else. I think it was longer than that. I think it was actually like 4 or 5-year deals, I think. And basically, it was weird. I mean, it was like Nintendo basically like owned the market, and Sega was like, we're going to beat this. We're going to beat them one way or another. Now, when the Genesis launched, Sega did get some of the market share. About 5%. Nintendo, on the other hand, owned the other 95%. And basically, the way it works is that the console has the most market share is the one that basically dominates that generation. Now, of course, the NES, also Nintendo Entertainment System, we'll do that eventually. It was an 8-bit console. It was great. Sega was like, we got double that. We got 16 bits. And what the hell are bits? I don't fucking know. The short answer I can give you is that it goes to the CPU power for the console. It basically puts how many colors on the screen as well as many pixels on the screen. The more powerful it is, the more pixels you get on your screen, as well as the better graphics you get. Okay, real simple as that. Now, if you want to know what power we are on our CPUs nowadays, we're at 64-bit. That's on our PCs. Okay? So, and the reason I say we don't need to go do any more than that. Now, the big pull about the Genesis was that it was about bringing arcade games home. Because up to this point, it was really hard to do that. Most consoles couldn't do it. You know, most consoles were way cheaper versions of what you get in the arcade. And the arcade still dominated, even throughout the late 80s and even into the 90s. So, people wanted the arcade games home. Now, keep in mind, this console was actually marketed towards teenagers and adults. It was not marketed toward kids. Okay? So, you got to remember that going in. So, they were like, okay, look, they're basically telling teenagers and adults, okay, you had that NES. You had that, but those are kids' toys. Okay, this is for you. This is for the adults. You know, you want to play those games you really want to play. You want to play those arcade games that you want to kick ass so much at. And it did okay at first until they got their major killer app, which was Sonic the Hedgehog. That came out 2 years after the console launch. People don't know that. No, they still think, oh, it came out at launch. That's why the Genesis sold so well. No, it didn't come out until 2 years later. Then the console took off, and shortly after that, then the console got 65% of the marketplace. And yeah, they gave Nintendo a huge run for their money. Okay, in fact, if you look at the commercials between the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, I swear to God, they got batshit crazy. Now, the thing is, this is a piece of information that everybody gets wrong about this generation, okay? So the Sega Genesis came out, the Super Nintendo eventually came out shortly after that to compete with the Genesis. to this day, people say that gamers back then fought like cats and dogs. That's a load of bullshit. I know because I lived that generation. I didn't see a single person, anybody on the playground, both in elementary and junior high, ever bitch about what console was better. Not a single one. And I'm from Las Vegas. And Las Vegas is the most gaming town you could see. So people fought like cats and dogs, you'd see it there. No one fought over this console for what I saw. Okay? If anything, we were smart about this generation. Why were we smart about it? Why fight over which console to get? What'd you do? You went to your friend and you say, you know what? I'll get the Sega Genesis, you get the Super Nintendo. But what do you say that? Okay, you get one, I'll get the other. And then you know what? Some days we'll go to my place, we'll play some games over here, and we'll go to your place some other days. That's what we did. That's the truth. So it didn't matter which one you had. Because whatever one you had, you went to your friend's house to play the other one. I remember people would go up and say, okay, you know what? We'll play Street Fighter 2 over at your house, Super Nintendo. We'll play Mortal Kombat at our house. The truth was the companies were fighting. If you watch the commercials, I'm not going to show them today, but if you want to look up, there's like full like videos showing all the commercials from back then. They got batshit crazy because the companies were fighting over us. Okay, we didn't fight. They fought. It's actually one of the most greatest stories in gaming history. And trust me, these two consoles was like the most epic fight ever. Not because of us. We won. Both console companies were going nuts. Now, what hurt the Genesis in the long run was it was Sega themselves. They beat Nintendo, and then they lost all direction of what to do. Like, all of a sudden, they beat Nintendo when they didn't know what to do. Like, they started putting add-ons on this console to increase the power of it, which was stupid. They first put the Sega CD out. That sold 1 million units, to be fair, but it dropped off after that because they didn't know what to do with it. They really didn't know what to do with it. And then they got even more crazy. They put the 32X out. Everybody hated that fucking thing. And I know because I had one. You know. So, and then ultimately they screwed themselves with the Sega Saturn, and that's ultimately ruined them completely. You know, the Dreamcast was their way of getting back in, but this was the Genesis, as you would call it. It actually is that. It is the console that really put Sega on the map. And you know, it's kind of sad to see what happened to them afterwards. It just showed they had horrible management. You know, in fact, their management was so bad that in December of 93, the whole violence in video games thing happened. And I'm not making this up. They had to go in front of the Senate, which was going to get concerned about violence in video games. Nintendo, they brought, oh God, what was his name? They brought their main attorney down, who was damn good. I forgot the guy's name. I'm truly sorry. You can look him up. You can see the history of the whole thing. Go to Gaming Historian and look up ESRB. And he's got a whole like 30-minute documentary about what happened there. And then they brought their attorney down, and that guy had his argument down in spades. So he was ready to go. Bill White, who was with Sega at the time, he had no idea what the fuck he was talking about. He looked like he was going to shit a brick. I'm not making this up. He even tried to market his own rating system, which sucked, by the way. He put Mortal Kombat as MA13, as in mature 13. He buried himself off that rating because, like, the people in the Senate were like, so people at 13 years of age are considered mature? And he's like, well, the rating says it. And he was like, no, are you saying that right now? And he was like, well, yeah. And he's like, are you kidding? He even got busted for the commercials. There's one commercial. You can find it on YouTube. Part of the shitstorm of commercials they had. They had one commercial where they showed a bunch of games, and it was a kid who looked like he was clearly under 13. Let's say about 11 or 12, playing a bunch of games. One of them was Mortal Kombat, and I think the blood code was activated. He got buried on that immediately. Sega really got in trouble over that. it didn't matter because games still sold like crazy, but you know, it looked bad in front of, you know, of Congress and the Senate. So basically what happened was that whole thing led to the ESRB. Yes, Sega was the reason why we got the ESRB years later, you know. So it's an interesting history. Now, the units sold for this thing, they say it's 30 million. I think it's way more than that. I just think the numbers are a jumbled mess because I try to look at the numbers of how many units sold. It's all over the place how many it sold. They say 30 million. I think it was around 50. That's my opinion. Because I could have sworn a lot more people had Sega Genesis than NES. So it could be anything by this point. But what's a console without the games? Okay, let's get into that because we got quite a few to go over today. So the console, I believe, had 5 or 6 launch titles. We're going to go over a couple of those. So we're going to start with the pack-in game, Altered Beast. Yeah, the pack-in game was Altered Beast. That's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Rise from your grave. Power up. Power up. Welcome to your doom.
Ah, shit. So yeah, the whole point of this was to bring the arcade home. This was a popular arcade game when the Genesis came out. Yeah, I suck at this game, I'll be fair. Alright, so that was Alter Beast. So it's the packing game. Great game, by the way. But if you wonder why the sound effects are the way they are, it's because it actually has the same sound chip that every arcade game at the time had. That's the reason why it sounds the way it does. So that was one of the packing games. Well, actually, that was the packing game. We got a few other ones here. Let's go with Ghouls and Ghosts. That was another popular one. This game was fucking hard. In fact, okay, so I'm on practice difficulty. Not good enough for me. The NES version is bullshit hard. Yeah, that's the thing. Ash. Yeah, that's the thing. 2 hits and you're dead. I don't remember exactly what buttons do which. Oh, you Oh, thank God. Fuck me! Gosh, yeah, it's hard. Yeah. This was arcade difficulty, by the way, they were giving you. So you were stuck with this. Yeah, we'll call it there. Relax. Oh, man. Yeah, that was no joke. These games were fucking hard. Like, really hard. Alright, so that was another launch title. Golden Axe. That was another one. This is another killer app. I guess we do arcade difficulty. What the hell? Oh, that's special. Oh, shit. That was the damn special. Against that cheap-ass arcade difficulty they gave you. Fine, assholes. Yeah, that's it. Now we're not going to continue. And that's it for that. That was Golden Axe. And we got one more of another, let's see where it is. We have one more launch title. Space Harrier 2.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
Like I said, these are arcade difficulties, so you know it's gonna take quite a few tries to beat these. And the truth was, you'd think people would ask, shouldn't it be easier? But no, people wanted the actual arcade difficulty in these games because they wanted to be able to go back to the arcade and actually beat the fuck out of the originals. Not like no one asked for it. People did ask for it.
Get ready.
Ah!
Get ready.
One more. Ah, shit. Oh, well. Our Space Harrier. Okay, now let's get to some other arcade games they released shortly afterwards. Let's go down the list here. We have Columns. This was Sega's answer to Tetris. Yep. Like I said, that was their answer to Tetris. All right. Oops. Yeah, this was one of those games. Okay, so that was another one we had. Let's go down the list. Got Outrun. I'll do this on. Let's do it on normal. We could do that.
Get ready.
Yeah. Fucked up already. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't make it. I fucked up too many times. That's okay. I don't want to take too long with this. That's okay. I've beaten it before. Yeah, I got fifth. Show that off real quick. All right. So that was another one. Let's go down the list here. We got Road Blasters. This is another one. Awesome 80s sound, man. missed that. That was a pretty good one. Let's go down the list. Let me get some more here. We got Strider. This was popular back when it came out. Very popular. And this basically was the arcade game. Okay. That was pretty good. It's a damn good game, by the way. I will show one more up before we start getting to the killer apps. The really killer apps. This is Toe Jam and Earl. Thing's supposed to catch all the presents and make it to, I don't know, I think maybe World 30 or something like that. I never beat this game. All I know is it's really goddamn weird. That's all I know. This is back when hip-hop was still like early 90s, late 80s hip-hop. Which some of that shit's great, but some of it hasn't aged well. We gotta get our shit piece. That's what we gotta do. If you fall down, you fall back to the last level. Whatever health you had. Let's give it one more shot. Yeah, Sega, they thought outside the box, and a lot of things they made themselves. They had third-party support, but like they stood up. I mean, Sega was the company that like had great developers but shitty management. That's the best way to put it. Hyperfunk thruster. We've seen enough. Oh shit, I keep forgetting I can change that. Oh man. Alright. Now let's get started to get into the really killer apps. So 2 years after the console came out, we finally got a really good killer app. Sonic the Hedgehog. I played this many times on the stream, so I'm not going to go too far into this. I'm not going to do the sequels either. If you want to see that, go watch the 2D versus 3D video. What's so funny about this game is that they want to sell it, but then the developers were like, I think we want to give this game away with free with the consoles. And the CEO literally lost his shit. And eventually the CEO took the paper, slammed it down on the table, shook his hands and fists and everything. Right before he walked out the door, he said, that's what it takes to be Nintendo, do it. That's how fucked up their management was. They were just like, oh, goddamn. It worked. They just didn't know what to do after that. Okay, that was Sonic. And there's a lot of Sonic games. There's like, I think 7 or 8. That includes the mixed ones. So we got that. That's what came out later on. We ended up getting Splatterhouse. Called Splatterhouse 2. Let's basically Splatterhouse 1 remastered, if you want to call it that. This game caused a lot of controversies too for how bloody it was. Yeah, that's what I mean. Game's a goddamn bloody mess. Sega was like, gloves off. We're doing everything. We're gonna beat Nintendo one way or another. Oh shit. Ah, shit, lose the weapon, go to the next level. Yeah, I mean, this game was a bloody mess. And Sega was like, sure, we'll put it on our console. And Nintendo won't do it, so we'll fucking do it. Okay, we're good. I tied him off. Oh, man. We got a lot to go over here, man. That's why I'm going through these games really quickly. There's another one. Shadow Dancer. Secret of Shinobi. This was like Ninja Gaiden on the NES, on the Sega Genesis. And again, it's just as hard as Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, we'll just start with another. And this takes place in New York City, by the way, which is also pretty cool. Oh shit! That's the ultimate attack. Oh, you. Oh, shh. I guess it's one-hit death. Damn. I get? Damn. I'll give her one more shot. Yeah, we're good. I think we're okay. We're good. It's fucking hard. Like I said, it's like Ninja Gaiden for the Sega Genesis. It's fucking hard. All right. So eventually we got some other really good stuff. Later on, they started really getting creative. Like licensed games, they got Aladdin on here, which is arguably the best Aladdin game, period. Yes, that Aladdin. This is back when Virgin made games. This was a great game, but fuck, it was hard. You might as well call the Sega Genesis the hard console. Well, when they're going to Nintendo and they're like, oh, you think your shit's hard? Oh, no, we can do that. To be fair, a lot of these games did have cheat codes. For sale for me. Nothing, because I ain't got enough jewels. Oh, there we go. I'm not kidding. This game gets really goddamn hard. Like I said. They want you to work for that ending. They were like, no, you're not getting it that easily. Yeah, we're done with that. Oh man, yeah, these games were fucking hard. Now they got even more creative later on. Yeah, Comic Zone.
Test 1, 2.
This game was a huge hit, and it's fucking hard. Like every other game on this list. I want to play those comic book games, you know, like Spider-Man and Batman. Yeah, well, this is a real comic book game. Oh, you will. I need the, oh, I should use the dynamite. That's what I should have used. Oh, fuck! One life. That's it. If you die by getting attacked, you get one extra chance. But if you fall off a ledge, you're dead. That's it. It's game over. Man, they made these games hard. They really did.
Test 1, 2.
Oh, God. Yeah, they made these games really hard back in the day. Let's try another one. Jurassic Park, another licensed game. This is arguably the best Jurassic Park game. So if you go to player here, you can play either as Alan Grant or the Velociraptor. Options. Oops. We're gonna put it on easy just to try it out. So this is the Alan Grant part. We'll do the Velociraptor part next. Son of a... Ah, fuck. Oh, well. Let me reset the game. We'll try the raptor part this time. Oops. Oh, well. So I'll show you the raptor part real quick before we move on. Hey, come on, get up there. Ah, shit. All right, we've seen enough. It's a good game, but goddamn is it hard. Just like every other game on the Genesis for the most part. Yeah, the funny thing is Super Nintendo eventually got like Street Fighter 2. And Sega was like, oh, fuck you. You got Street Fighter 2? We're going to take that shit too. We're going to get a special version of it. Street Fighter 2 Special Championship Edition. Or however it's pronounced. Basically Street Fighter 2 Turbo with extra characters. I don't think this used the 6-button controller yet. Oh, and a hyper version in there too. It's a Champion Edition. Oh, it does use the 6-button controller. Sweet. It's just as cheap with the AI as everything else. Yeah, it's still fucking hard. Oh, already I've versed my rival. Again, that sheep. The sheep fighting game AI, man. But no joke, the AI in these old games is input reading. You can try anti-air, everything you can, dude. They'll beat you. And no joke, Street Fighter 2 came out in Super Nintendo first. This is their version saying, fuck you, we're gonna get the better version of it. So. Top that off. They also got the better version of Mortal Kombat, supposedly. Oh, hang on a second. Something got messed up. Because this was the better version. In fact, it had the blood code. So you get the blood and the fatalities in it. I don't know what the code is. So don't ask. I'm not putting it in. If you want to know what it is, go look it up. But arguably, I don't think it's the better game between the two. It did sell more copies, to be fair. So it's also the Super Nintendo version 4-1. I picked that guy.
Fight.
Keep in mind, this version is so, like, interesting. You have to hold start the block. So there's no pause button.
Fight.
I know the fatalities, unfortunately. You have to activate the code to get the fatalities, by the way. I think you get, like, the dumbed down version of fatalities if you don't put the code in, but still. Ah, shit.
Fight. Get over here. Excellent. Finish him.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's fucking hard. And we're not going to continue. we shut enough. It kind of shows when violence gets in the way, like, it'll make something sell way more. But the Super Nintendo version, gameplay-wise, is better than this. All right, so we showed a lot off. So we're going to show a few more things real quick to show how far the console actually came. Now, we decided to get some 3D games on there. Like hard driving, for example. Somehow they got this game running on the Sega Genesis. And it's surprisingly playable. Doesn't look it, but it's actually playable. You have to give it like, you know, a half a second for it to respond, but you know what you're doing, you can beat it just fine. Race Drive is the one that's bullshit. That's the one that's like... That's the one that's barely functional, to be fair. Shit. It's also a lot easier than the arcade game. The arcade game was really fucking hard. You had to drive perfect in that game to get anywhere. We'll call it there with that. I've beaten this game a bunch of times by this point. So that was hard driving. That was pretty good. We'll show a few more games off and then we'll call it. So we'll show Virtual Racing. Now this one is a technical marvel. They even got this even running on the Genesis. They had to put a special chip in there. It's arguably the most expensive cartridge Genesis ever got sold. $100. This was a landmark arcade title at the time. Getting this to fit on here was pretty interesting. Doesn't look as good as the arcade game, but hey. It's close, man. You know, it's what you got to do. Virtual Racing on the Genesis. Yeah, it doesn't look as good as the arcade, but the fact they got it even running on here, that's pretty damn awesome. Right, they got it running on the Genesis. That's something, man. No credit where credit's due. All right, one more game, and we're going to finish this off. This game, I'm surprised they even pulled off. This just shows you how powerful the Genesis actually was when you used it properly. This is Vector Man. Again, this had no additional hardware. This is running directly off the Genesis. Hush. Oh, shit. They got that running on Sega Genesis hardware. That's pretty awesome. All right. That's a lot to go over. And I'm not even kidding when I say this. There's even more than that. There's so many good games on the Genesis. It's not even funny. So, yeah, that was a Sega Genesis. That was just like a handful. Like, that was a lot of games. I had to go through them fast because there's just so many of them. Like, there's even more than that. This is the Phantasy Star games. These are RPGs. They got the Shining Force games. They got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games. There's two of them. There's Tournament Fighters and there's Hyperstone Heist. There's Castlevania Bloodlines, Gunstar Heroes, Contra Hardcore. I mean, there's columns 3. There's all kinds of good games on the console. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, and plus games were also not that expensive. They were $50 tops. Super Nintendo games were around $70. So you can see why they beat Nintendo for a while. So yeah, great console. It's basically, I call it the poor man's arcade machine because it really is an arcade machine at home. It's not as good as the actual arcade cabinet, but it's really goddamn good. So yeah, I highly recommend the Genesis. If you haven't played one, it's got better games than that. I just showed you the handful of them. There's even a good Ghostbusters game on there that they made. Like, I didn't even show that. It's actually pretty good too. It's the best Ghostbusters game until the 2009 one came out. Okay, so the question is, how do you play this stuff? Well, console prices are going up a little bit. You know, getting an old Genesis could be a little pricey right now. If it's a Model 1 Genesis, which is, the long one, that could be a little pricey right now because console prices are going up due to retro game collecting. I think if you get the Model 2, it'd be a bit cheaper. Model 3 might be the cheapest, maybe. Usually go for $100, maybe get a little cheaper if you do that. The games, however, are also pretty cheap. I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog by itself, one of the cheapest games out there. It's one of the most sold games ever, especially the Not For Resale cartridge. You probably get one for like $5 or $10, maybe a little more now that game prices have gone up a little bit. So getting hold of the games is not that hard, But, if it's a little too pricey out of your range, emulation is even the best way to go. RetroArch is the best one. Okay, I'm not kidding. RetroArch, it's got like 3 or 4 cores in it that do Genesis perfectly. Whoops, god damn it. So if I go down the list here, see I got Genesis Plus, I got Pico Drive, there's 2 of them. And then if you go to the download section, yeah, RetroArch has almost everything in it nowadays. Jesus Christ. So, they got Blastium, they got SMS Plus GX, they got Genesis Plus GX Wide, Pico Drive, Gear System, all kinds of stuff. I mean, you name it, they got it. And they all run great, by the way. Pico Drive will do Genesis and 32X, and I believe Sega CD. He's a bit iffy on that one, though. I use Genesis Plus GX. That one does Sega Genesis and Sega CD very well. You just gotta get the BIOS, the Sega CD thing. And as for ROMs, just type in Sega Genesis redump, go to archive.org, get your ROMs there. Don't go anywhere else. Archive.org is the best place. It's legal. You can go there. It's also safest. Everywhere else, you're on your own. If you want to go somewhere else to get your games, don't call me. Okay? And the games run beautifully. Almost every game runs on it, so you don't have to worry about anything if you want to go that direction. And with that being said, thanks for joining me. Hope you had a great time. This is exhausting. I think like 30 games or something like that. I went through so many so fast. Well, anyway, thank you all for joining me. Hope you had a great time. And hopefully I'll see you all next time. Take care.